Welcome back. It has been nearly 2 weeks now since those devastating floods in eastern Kentucky. You recall at least 37 people have died. Entire communities remain cut off by debris and washed out roads.
The President and First Lady will tour that area today. Actress Jennifer Garner is already on the ground there. She's a trustee with the nonprofit Save the Children, and we're going to talk to Jennifer in just a moment. She's with us this morning, along with NBC's Cynthia McFadden. They're there in the flood zone and have stories to share about the struggles people are having there. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Jen and I spent the day yesterday meeting some remarkable people who have lost more than most of us can imagine. But what is clear is their community is strong and it is vibrant.
Robinson Elementary is a total loss. Jennifer Garner and I met up there yesterday with the Perry County Superintendent of Schools, Jonathan Jett.
A part of the roof has collapsed in the front part of the building.
Garner grew up less than 200 miles from here in West Virginia. She and I were the first to get an inside look at the utter devastation. Thick mud everywhere from the 8 feet of water that poured into the ironically named Troublesome Creek.
Is it safe to be in here?
Please be really careful.
I have to get my eyes on that library.
We head in to see what was, until about 2 weeks ago, the school library, which Save the Children helped create.
My little elementary school library totally shaped my life. I wanted to be a school librarian. I wanted to work in a library space just like this.
Oh, man. So what happens next? What are you going to do?
How many schools?
I wish I had a good answer for that at this time. I don't. My main focus is to get students in an environment as quickly as possible where we can make sure they're safe physically and emotionally.
260 elementary school kids who have battled through COVID and now face the prospect of yet another mixed-up school year. Garner knows how much is at stake, and though she's in the middle of shooting a film, flew across the country to bear witness.
So how did you come to do this work in the first place?
I grew up in a middle-class family. My mom had grown up very, very poor. My dad grew up poor, and the fact that the two of them were able to go to college was so life-changing. So when I was in a position to be invited into people's homes, it was rural America that really pulled me.
So it sounds like part of this work for you is really honoring your parents.
Oh, I mean, if there's anything I could do to be able to honor my parents, I have incredible parents.
Parents who gave her an early head start.
This is Rosie.
Rosie, the readiness bus.
Originally, Rosie was designed to be a mobile preschool for rural kids who didn't have one. But then the pandemic hit.
And it went from Rosie the reading bus to Rosie the feeding bus.
And for the past 2 weeks, Rosie has been hard at work again, distributing food, water, and even toys from home to home.
We were talking of the dignity and the grace of the people that we met today who have lost so much.
And the incredible intelligence, the work ethic, the nobility.
One such family, the Fugits. James Fugit is the principal of the destroyed elementary school we visited.
Am I crazy, or is that the mud line up there?
It was above that. It was about 16 feet.
Fugit was out of town the night of the flood, but his wife and 3 children huddled at the top of the house.
Do you see this window here? All the kids and his wife came out that window.
Their lives saved by a ladder, a boat, and a group of family and friends. But it was 13-year-old Peyton who his mother credits with keeping them going through that long, cold, dark night.
This kid was amazing, and he was my rock.
Though Peyton is still shaken, he says the rain brings it all back.
I can't do that again.
For those whose lives were ripped apart by the flash floods, it meant so much to have Jennifer Garner come to hear their stories and celebrate their resilience.
How did I end up in a position to get to meet so many incredibly strong people, and they're beautiful kids? And that is the one thing I have learned above all else. Every mom loves her baby as much as I love mine.
Wow. Cynthia, thank you. And we want to turn to Jennifer now, a longtime ambassador for Save the Children. And Jen, it's so good to see you. I just love that you have gone to this area to shine a light, because when you go somewhere, people pay attention. And here we are on the Today Show talking about it. What struck you? What do they need right now?
Well, they need everything. There's nothing they don't need. They need basic just necessities. They need water. They need somewhere to live. They need schools to be up and running. These kids need to go to school.
Jen, the folks that you talked to there, we saw the principal, the folks that you met. What did you learn from them? What struck you about those people specifically?
They just wanted to tell us over and over again how the community had come together to help them, how they hadn't had to hire help, how people had come to muck out their houses. They were inundated with family and friends there to just to help out, but that they need some help. They need a little bit of help to get their kids back in school in a safe way and in a way that protects their education and their mental and social, emotional health as absolutely as much as possible.
And on that note, I know the devastation in the library really hit you hard. Why is that?
Well, I grew up, I had an incredible librarian, Annis McCann, I called her Mom McCann, who really saw me as my own creative force as a little kid in Charleston, West Virginia. So that is one thing, but also Save the Children takes such pride in filling these libraries. We're in 16 counties in Kentucky, and every single school that we work in, we have filled the library with books and with computers, and we've made them and helped make them inviting and vibrant places for kids to learn and hope and dream. And those are all, you know, so many of those are gone, and the home libraries we've helped build as well. So it really, I take it personally on behalf of Save as well. We have a lot of work to do, but we'll dig in and we'll, you know, there are more books being printed every day. We will get back to it.
And we've mentioned, Jennifer, that you grew up around there. You said Charleston, West Virginia. This is southeastern Kentucky you were in. What would you want people to know about this community?
I'll tell you a fact about Save the Children. One of the things we do when there's disaster relief, we set up child-safe spaces, and those are for kids to play. It's therapeutic for kids to play. They play when they feel safe, and it gives parents a chance to talk to their insurance people or do what they need to do to start to knit their lives back together. But in this community, in rural, in southeastern Kentucky, in West Virginia, when there has been flooding or other disasters, there are no child-safe spaces because neighbors take in kids, family take in kids. These are people who believe in taking care of each other. It's the way that I was raised. I was raised as a member of the community, not as just myself and my family. It's one of the luckiest things about my life.
It's beautiful. Jennifer, thank you for the work that you do, for being there and palling around with our friend Cynthia, who tells the story so well. Cynthia, we say thank you to you. And now it's our turn, right? Let's wrap our arms around those flood victims.
I say thank you to you. Thank you.
Look at you guys. So if you want to help flood victims, you can go to today.com. We've got links, we've got information, and everybody can pitch in. I hope we all do.
Yes, we will.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.